What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, mates, and what is going to be a happy New Year as well to everyone out there. So, obviously, the last show of the year, Doma, 2023 comes to an end. We've been here week in and week out. This will be show number 52 of the year. No week missed.
Week in, week out for 3.5 years. 3 years. 3 years.
3 years, mate.
No comment. So,
well, we're still here, and
we're still here, mate.
There's been some casualties along the way with other podcasts that have come and gone, and had the biggest and baddest of following, but didn't stand the test of time, but just being put to the shelf. But that's all right. Double Coverage is here to fill the void, and we'll be back next year. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, 100%. We could talk about probably some of your big highlights in the hobby when we get to Hobby Talk for 2023. We can just have a chat of a few things that we found entertaining, some great things that happened in the hobby this year, where there wasn't too many, let's be honest. But I think the highlights that we run off in terms of our favorite, we'll try and pick something, or I'll read out a couple, and we can comment on a few of those. But Saucy, we'll get straight into it where we always start. Basketball, World Game Football, and NFL on the agenda today. No UFC, as the card last week was the last one up until mid-Jan next year. So basketball, I'm just going to get straight into it, Sauce. And I'm going straight to the West, and I'm going straight to the 13th seed in the West, right? Because on this show last week, we told everyone to gamble responsibly, and we said potentially by the time we get to this week's show, today, right now, living and breathing in the flesh, the two of us, we said that Memphis are going to play 4 games of basketball, and they will potentially have won all 4 games of basketball. And as it stands, Sauce, Memphis has won all 4 games of basketball and gone from, I think it was 9.5 games out to 5.5 games out of the 10th seed, which is the play-in tournament qualification. So we told everyone to gamble responsibly. You had a look at some of the odds last week, and you said that there was something crazy. I can't remember what it was at to make playoffs. I'm not sure what it was.
Correct, Omar. Like, so to make the playoffs, they were, $9.50, and the market's gone. You can't get this market anymore. So they've taken away the market.
Bro, the way that they're playing...
I'm literally looking right now. Gamble responsibly, ladies and gentlemen. If you do follow Saucy Tips on Instagram, I don't post too many tips very often, but that one I put it out there because I thought it was good value. Posted it. And I hope you chucked a bit on there. I think I had like $39 or something on it at $9.50. So, that's full disclosure. Then, haven't put the house on it. But I'll tell you what, they've started 4 in a row. And now they're only 5 games behind that 10th spot, which is all you need to have a chance to then make playoffs in the play-in. And a very prominent bookmaker here in Australia, which had a market on that in the NBA futures section last week when we did the show, and we looked it up and gave the little bit of a shout on the play, has taken away the market. So I can't even give you an update on what the price would be because you can't get on anymore. So
the crazy thing is,
it might come back, but it's not there at the moment.
The crazy thing is, I know they're 3 games out. 3 positions off that 10 seed. But they beat New Orleans twice in a week. So also with the 7th seed. And they're currently 6 games behind them in the 7th seed. They're 5.5 games behind Golden State in the 10th seed, but only 6 games behind the 7th seed. And I think they're better than the Houston Rockets as well, who are the 8th seed. And as you know, you've got to try and finish in the top 6 to actually guarantee a playoff spot these days. Nothing's guaranteed anymore, even if you do finish in the top 8. But I'm going to go on record now and say that they potentially, barring injury, of course, barring injury, I don't think they're going to have to worry about the play-in. I reckon they're going to get a straight playoff spot. They'll finish in the top 6 teams in the West. I reckon they're better than the LA Lakers. They're better than the Houston Rockets. They're better than the Pelicans. And on their day, they can probably beat the Sacramento Kings. And they're better than Phoenix and Golden State at the moment.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So
I think they're going to get there. I'm confident. So, they're back to playing good basketball. It makes a big difference having your best player back. And
the best was when everyone was worried if he was going to be any good when he came back. Come on, man. Like, this is Ja Morant we're talking about. He fucking just dominated. He's dominated every game. I think he's averaging like 28 over the 4 games that he's played. So, Jono, you listen to this show. We speak facts, mate. And welcome. Merry Christmas to you as well. Okay, Jono says, hi, guys. Can't believe it's you. Merry Christmas, Global. Welcome. It's not absurd. What? Not for anything. You're telling me that New Orleans and Houston and the Lakers are better than Memphis?
You can't say categorically, yes, they are.
Yes.
So
you can't, out and out.
Before
Ja Morant came back, you could have said yes.
Yes. But there's a debate across that. And, Houston's had this newfound success with guys improving and their teams getting better. So it'll be interesting to see if they can hold up their early season performance into the later half of the season. So there's a lot of things to
I think Jono's a bit confused on what we're saying. I'm not saying that the Grizzlies will beat Sacramento in a playoff series. I'm saying they can finish in the top 6 in the West. You don't need to play a playoff series to get into the top 6 in the West. Talking about the regular season, Jono.
Talking about playoffs, Jono.
They've played 29 games. There is still another 53 games to be played. Not even halfway through the season yet. And they're only 5.5 games behind. Well, they're 6 games behind the 7 seed. That's all I'm saying. You can't write off teams too early. Anyway, enough on the Grizzlies. Let's get to the Mavericks source because there's one guy on that team. He's just so good. Luka the Don. Fastest to 10,000 points, career points. The quickest ever was Michael Jordan. He beat him out by 353 games to get to the 10,000 point mark. Unbelievable.
Put on a 50-point show yesterday, which was
dominated Phoenix, which is another story in itself because there's someone on that Phoenix Suns roster that's not too happy, Sauce. And he's never happy anywhere that he is. Old Slim Reaper. Yeah. He's another bus driver in the league. Kevin Durant. He's another bus driver. Throwing him under. Who's going to be next? Booker. He's going to say Bill because he couldn't get healthy. Grayson Allen. He'll throw someone under the bus. But yeah, they're struggling mightily. Like, they're really struggling. Anyone else you want to talk about in the West? Clippers are looking good.
Yeah, Clippers are looking good. Kawhi's been out a few games, but I don't think it's anything major. They're plugging along. Made it hard for themselves today against the Hornets, but got the job done in the end. But yeah, look, no, not really. I think there's a lot to develop. We do know that the real season starts after the All-Star break, so it'll be that interesting now, that period leading up to All-Star break. You have that break for All-Star break and then the run in to finalize those spots. It's going to be interesting to see, do those teams at the top who are doing well in the regular season. Does their game hold up? If they're to stay in those spots come end of regular season, like the Thunder, Timberwolves, who are 1 and 2 in the West, does their game stack up? Come playoffs, we'll see. We will see. We've seen OKC, put it to the Timberwolves today. Put it on them. Good performance. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see these teams. I mean, this is the new wave of talent. You know, you've obviously got that
100%.
team led by Anthony Edwards, and then OKC led by SGA. And you know, is it now the wave of new talent taking over the West, or is it still going to be the old talent that's going to come and rise to the top? So, or you know, like, I mean, obviously, and you know, the older talent, and in that older talent is you know, guys like Jokic and Jamal, because Murray, who won the title last year, because they're, you know, older vet guys. So you know, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. There's a lot to play out. But there's one thing that's we put it on the line here last week. $9.50 should have get on. There's no market for it now, but that was the Grizzlies to make the playoffs, and 4 wins in a row in a week. It's looking good.
Looking very good. That's it for the basketball. Let's keep it chugging along. Let's get into some of the Premier League fixtures from the week. Where we got to start here? Geez, when was our last show? What's today? 27th. I reckon Tuesday. So what's that? 7 days ago. So we did the 18th games. Because we're on here because we looked at the momentum chart for the Liverpool United game last week, which was always fun. Since then, we've had Palace Brighton draw 1-1, Villa and Sheffield drew 1-1, West Ham defeated Man United 2-0, Tottenham defeated Everton 2-1, Bournemouth defeat Nottingham 3-2, Luton defeat Newcastle 1-0, Fulham lose to Burnley 2-0, Liverpool and Arsenal 1-1 draw. Do you want to talk about that one quickly, Source?
Look, you know, controversy with the handball that was inside the box is pretty, you know, I don't know, it looked like a handball to me. So they probably got away with one. You know, Liverpool should have scored, and you know, Alexander, I don't know how he hit the post on that chance, breakaway chance. Do I feel like we did enough to get a point? Yes, I do. I do feel like we did enough to get a point. I feel like we probably sat a little bit too back, and we had the football to play through their press, and we didn't take it on enough at times. One thing that was noticeable though was, like, I mean, I love Zinchenko, what he can bring to our team offensively, but defensively, man, the dude's a liability. Like, Mo Salah was putting him on ice skates. He was just giving him absolute all fits. I mean, the goal where he cut inside, like it's Mo Salah, yeah? Like, you know where he's going to go. Like, you got to send him to the byline. He just, like, lets him get stood up. And you know, when you in that position where you get caught flat-footed as a defender going sort of backpedaling, and he got pretty much frozen on the spot, Mo Salah skips around him and just fires it into the top corner. So yeah, look, disappointing after a good start to get that early goal and then give away the lead, obviously, before halftime. And then after that, in the second half, did enough to get a point. But look, take it. You know, a point at Anfield away is always a good result.
Definitely. Next up, we have Wolves defeating Chelsea 2-1, which is not good for the Blues.
Funny that game, wasn't it? Because before that game, I sent a message out in the group chat with Manny, and I said, "Oh, Manny, you're going to beat the Wolves?" And he goes, "No." And I said, "Yeah, I reckon too." And I actually bet on Wolves to win. So it was funny banter, but yeah, the Wolves are good at home. They're unbeaten now, 7 games at home. It was always going to be a tough game on the road for Chelsea, and it proved that.
Poor man, he had a shocking Christmas Eve with Chelsea losing, and then his Christmas Day stunk as well because the Dolphins beat his Cowboys. So it's an absolute nightmare, poor bloke. Other games which were yesterday, Boxing Day, and today. So we had Newcastle losing to Nottingham 3-1. That's 2 losses in a row.
Chris Wood, a hat-trick.
Yes, Chris Wood, a hat-trick. Fantastic performance by him. Luton defeat Sheffield 3-2. Bournemouth defeat Fulham 3-0. Liverpool 2-0 over Burnley. And Man United did some favours for Liverpool and Arsenal fans this morning, coming back from 2 goals down at halftime to win this one 3-2.
Spewing that I actually didn't get up because I actually woke up seeing
Bro.
like a half, like seeing the 2-0, and then went back to a bit of a snooze. Then woke up and was like, "What the hell? It's 3-2." Flicked on.
I don't
some
know
of
what
the
happened. I can't tell you what happened. Like, I watched the game, the first half. We copped two goals off zero defending off set pieces, corner and a free kick. We had a bit of the ball in the first half. We really didn't do anything. And then the second half, I honestly, you want to see it like when you're up 2-0 and you use the phrase put the team, like you put the sword to a team, you think, oh, the team that's up just absolutely killed them. But United were down 2-0 and they put the sword to Arsenal in the second, to Aston Villa in the second half. Literally, we put the sword to Aston Villa. They got killed. I messaged Source and I said, we are destroying them. Like, we had a goal disallowed, one goal disallowed for offside, another couple opportunities were offside where we had run-ins one-on-one with the goalkeeper, like just offside as well. Probably could have kicked 5 in the second half. Mind you, Source, we hadn't scored for 400 minutes leading up to into this game. 400 minutes. Yes, you heard that correct. Almost 10 games we hadn't scored. And Hoyland hadn't scored a goal yet in the Premier League. 1,000 minutes. Source. Well, not 10 games, sorry. 450 minutes is 6 games. 6 games? 90, 180, 270, 360. 5 games. 5 games we hadn't scored. Hoyland hadn't scored, 10 games. 1,000 minutes, Source. More, 11 games. And he bags his first one. It's the winner. It's a ripper off the post, off a corner. Took advantage of it. Get the job done. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but Sir Jim Ratcliffe actually and his consortium actually bought out 25% of Man United this week. So on Christmas Day, they announced that. That was like the Christmas present to United fans. He's bought 25% stake in the club. He's got all his consortium coming in now to overtake and overhaul the football club. There's rumors that Paolo Maldini is going to come and run football operations at United. They're going to pay him big money. Like, he's going to start revamping the stadium, putting money into it because he's a quarter. He owns a quarter of the club now. So he had his director of football in the crowd, the new guy that's taken over, mate. When they flashed to him at halftime, when we were 2-0 down, you should have seen his face. He looked disgusted. He was like, I could already see him going, I'm selling this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And then the second half, I don't know. He's probably still gone, I'm going to sell this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. He's probably still going to do that. But yeah, good win. Great stuff for Arsenal fans because Villa was a point behind them. Arsenal was a point ahead still, but with a game in hand, and Liverpool now a game ahead of Villa. So United moves up into 6th, Source. 1 game behind Man City, but Man City has 2 games in hand there.
I reckon Manny's going to be on the losing end of this bet now, mate.
Yeah, they're in 11th, Chelsea, at the moment. They're struggling big time. The fixtures coming up by the time we get around to the next show, which will be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday the 2nd, or Wednesday the 3rd. Anyway, these are the games. There's a fair few. So tomorrow morning, we have Brentford Wolves, Chelsea Palace, Everton Man City. So 6:30 for Brentford Wolves, Chelsea Palace. So tune into those ones. City Everton is at 7:15. Friday morning, Brighton Tottenham at 6:30. And you can back that into, that's probably going to be a goal rush game with Arsenal versus West Ham at 7:15. And then on Saturday, Luton Chelsea, which I'm telling you, Luton will beat Chelsea at home. 11:30 on Saturday. Villa Burnley, Palace, Brentford, City Sheffield, Wolves Everton, Nottingham Man United. That's on Sunday at 4:30 in the morning. New Year's Day is Fulham Arsenal at 1 a.m. So Sauce is going to ring in the new year and then sit down with a frothy and watch Arsenal towel up Fulham. Tottenham Bournemouth, then Liverpool Newcastle 7 a.m. on the 2nd, and West Ham Brighton 6:30 on the 3rd. So some good times for us, Sauce. Those early morning, not too early, mid-morning fixtures for the Premier League. So that's it.
Plenty of football on. Plenty of
football. And if you want to watch more and you just itching for even more football, we've got the Saudi League, which of course you can see as by the top I'm wearing. Yeah, sorry for those that are listening. I am wearing an Al Nassr top because for good reason. Of course, Source knows why. We're all happy this morning if you're a Ronaldo fan. But results in the SPL, Damak defeat Al Tay 3-0. Khalij beat Faya 3-0. Al Halal beat Abba 7-0. Smack them. Al Nassr beat Al Etifak 3-1. Hazem lose to Ali 4-0. Akdud beat Shabab 1-0. Fateh beat Tawun 3-1. Raid defeat Ittihad 3-1. Al Wada defeat Riyadh 3-1. Craig Goodwin scored in this game for Al Wada, the Aussie. So good on him. Great stuff for him there. And then Al Ittihad and Al Nassr played 2 games in a week, and they played against each other this morning. And Al Nassr wins this 5-2 without some controversy. Saucy came on in the green room and said to me, he had not seen one highlight. And what did you say to me, Sauce? You have not seen anything.
I hadn't seen anything. I just seen that they won 5-2 and that I looked at obviously seen they got a red card and whatever. And I was like, mate, it was fixed for Ronaldo to score the goals so he could finish top goal scorer, mate.
And what did I say to you? I think it was because I got up and watched it. I actually think it was. I genuinely think it was. He scored a pen, which the pen was actually there. So they were 2-1 up. Hamdallah scored for Ittihad. He equalizes. Hamdallah makes it 2-2. And Ittihad looked like they had all the run against Al Nassr. Ronaldo plays a through ball to Otavio, and they're jostling for the ball on the touchline as it's rolling towards a goal kick. And as they're jostling, the defender's arm goes up and just flicks Otavio in the face. And of course, he dives onto the ground. It looks like he's been shot. He's been sniped from the top row of the stadium. And I'm like, oh, whatever, man. Goal kick. No, stop the game. It's going to VAR. As we've always said, in slow motion, VAR, it looks terrible. So it looks like he's just hit him in the face. Where it's so incidental. Gets a pen. That defender gets his second yellow, gets sent off. Ittihad down to 10 men. Ronaldo steps up to the plate. He's on 52 goals. As we know, he doesn't miss penalties. And if he does, it is honestly a rare occasion. Buries it. Becomes the leading goal scorer for 2023 with one more game in hand, mind you. There's still another game. None of the other guys are playing because they're all finished. Harry Kane, Mbappe, and Haaland's injured. And all of a sudden, the floodgates open when you got 10 men. And they end up winning 5-2. Sadio Mane scored a brace as well. There it is. Ittihad's lost 4 in a row now. They're absolutely struggling. They won the league last year, mind you, Ittihad. So yeah, they're absolutely struggling. But Ronaldo, the top G, the top goal scorer. What can I say? Oh, I'm happy.
It's pretty crazy he's still doing it at that age.
I know everyone keeps saying, oh, it's the Saudi League, blah, blah, blah. Mate, he's 38 years old. He kicked 50. He kicked the most goals in the league. Don't get me wrong. I know the French league is way better than the Saudi league, but Mbappe beats up on all these shit teams as well. We don't question any of his stuff. And you can actually argue that some of the breadth of talent in the top teams in the Saudi league can rival some of these other teams. Just because the rankings don't say anything. I'll be honest with you, this Inter Miami team next year is actually going to be good. they signed Suarez during the week. I'm not sure if you saw that source.
Yeah, seen that.
But that team is stacked now. Like they got Busquets, Alba, Messi, and Suarez. So all the talent in the whole entire competition plays on one team. So if they go and play at a Club World Cup, for example, they'd give some teams a run for their money. The same with Al Nassr. Etihad actually lost in that competition during the week. And then Man City ended up beating Fluminense to take out the title there. But
not without some fireworks. I'm not sure.
At the end, I didn't see what happened, but can you give us a rundown? There was a punch on or something.
Yeah, nearly a punch on. Felipe Melo wasn't happy with Grealish because they were, obviously they were up 3-1 or something, and they were passing the ball around, and he was yelling "Ole, ole!" and Felipe Melo wasn't happy that he was yelling the oles, and kicked off, and just hot-headed Brazilians, mate. Never surprises me when they go off because it happens all the time.
And Jack Grealish shithousery, which we've come to expect from.
He's gonna stir the pot. That's what he does best.
Exactly. So games coming up here: Al Riyadh, Damak, Ettifaq Hazm, Faya Halal, Raid Aba, Ali Kalish, Fateh Akhtud, Tay Ittihad. Hopefully they can get a win. Shabab Wader, Al Tawun versus Al Nassr. That's 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. So that's the last. That is officially the last game for the Saudi League before the end of the year.
Yeah.
So Ronaldo can try and extend that tally.
They have a 2-week break. They actually have quite a bit of a break because there's no more fixtures showing here until February the 16th, mate.
Yep. And the Premier League, after that game on the 3rd, there's no Prem games till the 13th of Feb as well. So they'll have a week and a bit off. It's a bit of a break. So that's it for the football. Over to the NFL source. The results from the week. It's coming down to the pointy end of the season now. We have the results were San Francisco get beaten by Baltimore 33-19. Big claim for Lamar Jackson to be MVP this season. He's been very, very good. Philadelphia beat the Giants. Tommy Cutlets loses 33-25. We love Tommy Cutlets as Italians. Saucy and I. Tell you what, Chiefs fans out there, they lose to the Raiders 20-14. Did you catch any of this source? But it was a shambles. No. Mahomes was abusing everybody on the sideline, like losing his shit. It was so funny. He was like just throwing tantrums because he's just like, what are you doing? Like trying to tell him this is the play, mate. Like, what the hell's going on? So he cracked it. It's very funny. Go have a look. Patriots defeat Broncos 26-23. Bears beat Cardinals 27-16. My Dolphins beat Manny's Cowboys 22-20. Buccaneers defeat Jags 30-12. Falcons defeat Colts 29-10. Green Bay defeat Panthers 33-30. Browns over Texans. Lions over Vikings. Jets over Commanders. Did what's his name play in this game? Aaron Rodgers, is he back yet?
No. I think he's still on the sidelines.
Yeah. So Hawks beat Titans. Seahawks beat Titans, sorry. Bills beat Chargers. Steelers beat Bengals. And the Rams defeat the Saints. Games this week in round 17. So we've only got 2 rounds left, Saucy, before the playoffs. Browns, Jets, Cowboys, Lions, Ravens, Dolphins. That'll be an absolute ripper. 5 a.m. on New Year's Day. Bills, Patriots, Bears, Falcons, Texans, Titans, Colts, Raiders, Jags, Panthers, Giants, Rams, Eagles, Cardinals, Buccaneers, Saints, Commanders, 49ers, Seahawks, Steelers, Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs, Bengals, and Vikings versus the Packers. Source.
What are the standings looking like, Doma?
The standings are currently
divisional standings, and
hope I can change it to divisional in here.
You can. What do you want?
I can. Yeah, it's here. Yeah. AFC. Ravens on top, 12-3. Dolphins 11-4. I might just bring it up.
Hang on, bring it up so we can go through the division to see how it's looking. Each division.
I've got it in conference at the moment. Do you want any division? I think division's further down.
If you scroll down, it's further down.
Yeah. Oop. AFC East, Dolphins 11-4, Bills 9-6. So those two are the out and out clear favorites there. Baltimore and Cleveland. So Baltimore 12-3, Cleveland 10-5. In the AFC North, AFC South, Texans 8-7, Jacksonville 8-7, Colts 8-7. So that one is still up for grabs, Saucy.
For grabs for anyone.
AFC West, Kansas City 9-6, Vegas 7-8, and Broncos 7-8. So very close there. NFC East, Philly 11-4, Cowboys 10-5. They are safe. Then the Giants and the Commanders round out that division. North, we have Lions 11-4, and then Minnesota 7-8, and Packers 7-8 as well.
Detroit's locked that up.
Yeah. NFC South, Buccaneers 8-7, and New Orleans 7-8, Falcons 7-8.
Oh, still open.
Pretty open there. And then the NFC West, San Francisco 11-4, and then we've got the Rams and the Seahawks fighting it out, both on 8.
So there's quite a few teams that are going to obviously contend for a wild card spot.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
So we'll go through them again next week, and we'll see how they fare. Those teams. Very nice. That's it for the football source, and we're going to roll straight into hobby talk because that's it for the sport at the moment. We got, as you know, this time of the year we get some nice quick ones. So we'll run straight into hobby talk here, and we'll get it started with some Prism. Whoop. Let me stop this. Let me bring this up. Prism Premier League source. Let's have a look at what we've got. I'll zoom in, don't you worry. So base set has 300 cards covering Prem teams. Vets and rookies are joined by some stars from the past. The Cornerstone Prism parallels come in many forms. Purple and white stripes, Genesis, and Snakeskin are a few available in hobby packs. Silver Prisms also return, falling 4 per hobby box. So we've got a Raheem Sterling. Choice Prisms, which are exclusive to choice boxes, include red, white, and blue, tiger stripe, zebra, and nebula. There's the zebra. Breakaway boxes have breakaway prisms, circular patterns, and we've got all the colors like in the NBA, but here's Morgan Gibbs white, the zebra, and we've got the circles, the gold circles, or was that orange? I don't know, but that's Lewis Miley, who's been a nice revelation for the Newcastle Jets this season. Great rookie, probably to chase in this product, I would have thought.
Newcastle Jets?
Yeah, Jets. No, Newcastle United. You're thinking of A-League Jets. You almost got me there. Autograph themes include penmanship, signatures, and dual signatures. Like the main set, additional colors are available. Here we've got Tim Howard and Gareth Barry. Dual purple.
Oh, that's a classic one. Back for the glory days when Everton was half decent. That was back when Timmy Cahill was playing there, around when Tim Howard was the keeper.
Hopefully they got a bit of a checklist we can look at. We'll have a look. Checklist has lots of inserts, Brilliance, Emerge, and Fireworks, Prism Flashback to 2012, Talisman as well. He's Big Haaland and the Brilliance. Not a fan of that looking card, to be honest. Color Blast is also in there. There's Cody Gakpo. Groovy and the Illustrator Manga also return. Here's the Groovy with David Beckham. Have a retro looking card there. What to expect? Cards per pack in the hobby. 12 choice. 12 in the hobby, 8 in the choice, 9 in the breakaway. Packs per box in the hobby is 12. 1 in the choice, 10 in the breakaway. Boxes per case. 12 in the hobby, 20 in the choice, 20 in the breakaway. Release date subject to change, but it is due for the 31st of January in 2024. Expect 1 auto, 6 inserts, 5 serial numbered prism parallels, 4 silver prisms, and 8 additional prism parallels. In the hobby box, in the choice box, is 1 auto, 3 choice prism parallels, 3 additional prism parallels, and 1 base card or insert. And there is no checklist just yet. But there's some of the cards there for those watching.
Right.
So that's that one. Next, we have Donruss Basketball Sauce. Here we go. Here's all the variations. I'm not going to go through all of those. Here's a Jason Tatum. Rated rookie SIGs at an auto level for select cards. Among the parallels for these, choice blue and choice black and gold. And Thompson auto.
I think everything in Donruss is all sticker.
I saw Thompson. Here's the 0 gravity. He definitely has 0 gravity at the moment. The size of him. Zion. Case of Mollis. Cards per pack, 30 in the hobby, 10 in the choice. Packs per box, 10 in the hobby, 1 in the choice. Boxes per case, 10 in the hobby, 20 in the choice. Set size is TBA, subject to change, but the hobby release is on Jan 24 and the choice is Feb 2nd. What to expect in a hobby box: 1 auto and 60 insert/parallels in a choice box, 2 autos and 3 choice exclusive parallels. No.
What do we think in a hobby box of Donruss cost us, Doma?
Well, how much?
What's your prediction?
How much was Prism? Do you remember? $2,000? Was it $2,000? Less.
No, it wasn't quite that much.
1,500.
Yeah,
was it 1,200? I'm gonna say that a hobby box of this would be like $650.
Yeah, I reckon it's gonna be around the $600 to $700 mark.
Yeah,
which is interesting. So it's a tough sell for me. It's a tough sell. Like, I'll wait to see the checklist, but as we always say, when you looking at any of this stuff, do your research. Is it worth even buying a box, or are you just going to wait for someone to hit the cards that you want to hit and buy the singles? So, yeah, look, we're just giving you the shout. These boxes are releasing shortly. Wait till there's a checklist and see, what you do want to get into. But other than that, it's much of the same. It's much of the same process. It's just nice to have new guys to collect, new guys that you might be, new rookies you might be looking into to collect. So it's just good to see the products. Let's hope the production line can catch up a little bit, and this stuff's pretty far behind some of the release schedule, so it's still behind. I don't know if it's ever going to catch up. But we'll see. We'll see, Doma.
We definitely will. That's it in terms of like products and stuff. There's been no real hobby news, and let's be honest, I'm not talking about $1,200 facsimile dual autos of Marlin and Nemo from Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm not going to.
We talked about that already.
We talked about LeBron and Bronny on the show last week.
That's right.
Yeah, but there was a few highlights this year, Sauce. I'm going to rattle off some stuff if you do want to talk about it. Some highlights. I think trimming finally was allowed in the hobby when it came out, and we were told that, I forget his name, he was doing it. He's been doing it his whole life, and then OTS Sports came out and said he does it as well, and so trimming's normal, which I thought was pretty interesting. Shillway vlogs. So we found out that shilling's also normal. We had the Shillway shill card therapist as well in that. So trimming, shilling, that's fine. Kurt's cum care, that's fine also. These are obviously the criteria has changed over time with grading your cards and what you can and can't do. So these are now all acceptable measures that can be taken when you do submit a card. What else do we have? Multiple one-on-ones. There's no such thing as a one-on-one anymore. There's about 45 one-on-ones of the same card as a superfractor in a product these days, which is pretty good.
Yeah. Some with the stamp on the back, some with the stamp on the front. Doesn't matter. Still a one-of-one.
Still a one-on-one. Another good one. This is actually brought up by you in the hobby this year, Source. That the product hit is actually given as replacement cards for different products. As we saw as a redemption replacement card for NBA products, they give you a product hit in Impeccable Soccer, which is a Ronaldo auto, which is probably what you want to chase, but they just give them out as replacements. So
even though the redemption's not expired.
Yeah, so you just get your customers to keep spending money on a product that you can't even get the chase card in, which is really good. Fantastic. We saw some deferring of brands. Obviously, we saw Panini lose absolutely everything this year to Topps and Fanatics. WWE is going to Topps as well. UFC won't be too far behind, I wouldn't have thought. Jeff Wilson's opening up the greatest and biggest card shop on planet Earth, according to him, which is good. He's buying all kinds of singles. Desmond Ritter, Lonzo Ball's back, probably. He's probably going to start buying them. But of course, the second biggest news, the biggest news of this year is the round table. Got introduced onto the Double Coverage podcast network, which was really, really good fun with the Messiah, who now likes to be called formerly the Messiah, newly named Griff Wilson, and Dan the Cardman. But the second biggest story, of course, was Juanito card porn, which everyone's forgotten about. But that was the second biggest story in 2023, Source. So it's been a great year for the hobby. In my opinion, it's been absolutely fantastic.
If that was the second biggest, what was the biggest?
The round table. Our show's the biggest.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, the biggest story is that more podcasts dropped out of the network, out of the hobby. There's literally no one left. It's bare bones and literally mothballs, and fuck, you open it up and just moths fly out of the closet these days.
That's why they've had to go get Dude Perfect and bring them in here to try get.
What do you mean? Dude Perfect in this space as well. I like Dude Perfect.
Dude, hey, haven't you seen it? Dude Perfect. They went and Fanatics is paying Dude Perfect to break cards on Fanatics Live. And try,
really?
Ask people to come into the hobby. It's got
That's good. That's good.
It's mixed emotions amongst hobbyists out there.
Why?
If you haven't seen the video, Dan the Cardman's done a video on it.
But I'll go watch that. I will.
Go check
I don't
it
know.
out,
I don't see what the issue is. Fanatics is rorting people, and there's no big deal. They've sold something to someone and done the opposite. And Dude Perfect, no offense, but this is just to run with the joke. I think they've got caught reusing a green screen before, so they also duped their audience. So there's no fucking difference between the two of them. So it's a match made in heaven. So there you go.
That was
there you go.
That was
so,
set up well.
I don't know. Everyone's best buddies, and they're all in a grift together. So, but I'll tell you one thing. I hope that we've been able to give you a source of entertainment throughout 2023. I know I've thoroughly enjoyed it. But over to you, Source. Just your thoughts on everything that's happened this year, and your thoughts on the podcast for 2023.
It's been a big year in the hobby. Things have kept ticking over. It's good to see the usual schedule of events and things back on the calendar as standard, which was great. It was great to be able to get out to a few hobby hangouts. Hopefully, maybe we can finally get up to one in Sydney next year, which has been on our to-do list over the last couple of years. We've been denied the opportunity, unfortunately, but that'd be great to be able to do that. Other than that, what can I say? It's been always good to turn up every week and talk a bit of trash on the air with my good friend and the audience listening. So we always appreciate you tuning in and taking time out of your day to listen to the show and get in the comments and join in on the fun. And hopefully we've provided some laughs and some funny sprays along the way that,
Well, you almost passed out giving a fucking Le Mans this year.
Yeah. Well, geez, it was needed. It was needed. Don't say it wasn't. It was needed.
Every Le Mans is necessary.
Every Le Mans
is necessary. All right.
But yeah, it's always a pleasure. And Happy New Year to everyone, and Merry Christmas to those people who do celebrate. For those people who don't celebrate,
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. There we go. Better be correct. Not that we give a flying F. We'll just move to Rumble if they really kick us off here. But that's all right. That's all right. We've been threatening that for a whole year. We're still here.
We're still here. But yeah, without all of you, we don't do this, and we probably would not front up if it wasn't for all of you. To be honest, like, we appreciate your support always. New Year's resolution for us, we will try and get more guests on next year. We will. We've been super busy this year with all sorts of things. A few milestones as well, Source. Like, you got married this year, which is fantastic. Next year, another milestone. Well, we both turned 30. There's all types of shit happening in the background. So it's been good. It's been a pleasure, mate, working with you again for another year doing this podcast. And thank you once again, and we'll see you in 2024. So keep living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce. Peace, baby. One last time, baby. See.
Peace out, ladies and gents. Happy New Year. Double
the top
coverage.
G, baby. The top G.
We're still here. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.